like to address, and then we work our way around. And then, of course, the lines are open for our listeners to get in 465-1977 and 662-8674. The concern that he brought to the table yesterday was relating to parking at Value Mart, right? I know you said that's going to be designated for White Sands VIP patrons, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So what he was saying is people are go there early, and park up and cause problems for the patrons for Value Mart.
Okay. That would not really be so much under our purview, the purview of the police in relation to secure the parking, because in my view, White Sand is a private aspect of the music festival in relation to that, and so we will not regulate parking in that area when it pertains to who legitimately is allowed to park and who is not. But I believe if White Sand recognize that that's a challenge, they should have some means of identifying their patrons, or the patrons being able to be identifiable in terms of their vehicle. And so then one can know clearly whether someone is unauthorizedly parked or authorized parked. So that is what I will advise. But to say, well, the police will enforce, no, I will not commit to that.
Okay. All right.
And it would be a challenge, especially for the police, to even try to get in contact with the owner of the vehicles, especially when they're already in the music fest. Because, sometimes the service slows up because of the amount of persons at the time, And for us to be calling everyone for a vehicle, not knowing whether or not they are VIP
patron,
it would be very frustrating.
It will be a tedious exercise, and police, we will not have ourselves tangled up, or resources tangled up in trying to sort that out. So I would advise, if that is a challenge, it should have been recognized early by the organizer of that particular event, if there is an arrangement, because I'm told that there is an arrangement between White Sands and Hasfords.
Yes.
And so that's a private arrangement, and they should have the proper security in place. I'm not saying that we will not provide the necessary patrols and everything, but from a private standpoint, they should have their own measures in place.
Right.
Yeah.
The next question on the table, it's related to bus drivers charging extra during music festival. Is it something that has been sanctioned by government? Are they allowed to do so? And that was the question posed yesterday.
Unfortunately, I wish I had this question posed earlier so I could have been able to do the research and come. I know that there is a bus fare. I also know that there have been some discussion of where once it gone midnight that the fare would be increased. What I do not know if that has really come into actualization in relation to the appropriate legal sanctioning. So I don't know that. So had I had this question before, I would have done the research in relation to confirm. But I have to be careful with my response in this regard. One should take into consideration that, especially where you do not have your own private transportation, and the owners, the bus operators, they are providing an extraordinary service
because of the timing.
Because of the timing, you gone to a place of entertainment, and they it's a balance because it's a benefit for both parties. It's business for the bus operators, and at the same time, it's a convenience of service. So you don't have to worry if you're gone. You don't have your private transportation. You don't have to worry about how you're going to get home after a certain time. And so I say that to say that one should be considerate that if the bus operators are operating under abnormal circumstance in relation to the running schedule, and there is a additional fee, that one should really give consideration to that.
Understand.
That is how I will say that. But to say definitively if it is legal, I have not done my research in that regard.
All right, no
Yeah.
problem. Thank you for clearing that up for me.
Jake,
You were going to say
just-
something?
Yeah, just to add, some persons they're doing Ubers. I'm not too sure how legitimate that is also because I think once you're doing service, the insurance should be a little different. But we would have to come back with that. But
Right.
the Uber services, I see the minimum fee is $25. And persons would pay that money for Uber to come for them, but the bus driver would charge $5.
That's what you're saying.
And they would make an issue out of it.
Right, that's what you're saying. So
You know?
it costs them less,
Yeah.
but they're still complaining.
And the least amount for one drink at any event right now is $5 or more, but they would buy the drinks freely.
Right.
But to ensure that they can get home, because there's an additional fee to it, they make it an issue.
Right.
So sometimes, Jiki, I think we have to prioritize what is of more value, greater value.
Yeah.
Another example is that there are private parking. I know there is a parking that is opposite the Science Complex where they used to have a school, children thing right next to the street that takes you to the junction of Fulton Bakery.
Yeah.
That's a private parking. It's $5 for the park. But people will rather park illegally and pay $100 plus the towing fee of $250.
That's your point.
Because
That's
if you
your
gone up, $250.
That's your point.
$250.
That's your
And
$250.
I had a meeting with the two operators yesterday, and they more or less, in the discussion with the meeting, they more or less was wondering if that was, a little bit too much. And I said to them, well, the police will not regulate your service charge because I know the wear and tear, the different things and so on. So even if it was $300 for the towing fee, I would have agreed to it because persons have a choice. Either you find a legal parking or
You risk it.
having to pay the fee for violating the law as well as your vehicle being impounded. And so we all have choices, and it's just a matter of prioritizing. So even if the towing fee had gone up to $300, I would agree with it.
I hear you.
Because at the end of the day, you commit an offense, and so if you want your vehicle, pay the money because you decide, you know that you were committing an offense.
Got you.
Yeah.
Moving on real quick. This one is not related to music festival.
Yeah.
But it's on the bus driver, so I'm going to keep in the flow moving with the bus, and then we'll continue. Someone called in this morning, and they were asking if the police can pay close attention to bus drivers who are drinking and smoking while behind the wheel.
While behind the wheel? While behind.
Yeah, that's what the person said, while behind the wheel.
So what?
Yeah. This
Okay,
was
well.
bring that to your attention. They said they're concerned, and I wonder if I can find the clip
Well,
and
when
play
it
back.
when it happened, they should call one time, especially days on because for us to go out there and look for them when they see us, we're not gonna see any drink in their hand, But when it is happening, they should report it one time. Don't wait till after.
Okay.
Yeah, you see the thing about that is very, very, very a very grave concern.
Oh, you've heard the concern before?
No, it's the first time I'm hearing it.
Yeah, me
But
too.
if it is something that is happening, then it should be treated very seriously. So I will encourage persons once you're traveling on a commercial vehicle, because that's a legal, that's an offense under the traffic, Vehicles and Road Traffic Act, in terms of driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol. And so, if that happens, evidence is critical. And at the same time, as Bell says, get in touch with the police. And if the vehicle is en route, that the police could really try to intercept or disrupt whatever is happening. The thing about it, there was an accident across by the West Side gas station last week. And people got seriously damaged. And one of the passengers in the bus said he was traveling on another passenger bus and the bus driver was driving fast. He's traumatized from his experience from the last accident. And he said the bus driver just watched him bad and started to drive faster.
Oh, wow.
So he had to eventually ask him to put him out. You know, it's sometimes when you hear these experiences being shared and so forth, it makes you wonder, where is the consideration of persons, the disregard for the law and the disregard for people's safety? So it's something that I really take seriously. And once the evidence is to be had, I will encourage that the person be fully prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Okay. 465-1977-662-8674. You were going to say something?
No.
Those are the numbers to get in. Of course, we're on the doorsteps of Music Festival. Parking is a big concern for all people who will be attending. Let's take this call, see what's on this person's mind. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning.
Yes.
Officer Senior there. I'm not mad at everyone.
Yes,
The
morning.
Officer Senior, don't say that if the person said this morning that they witnessed it. Sometimes they got some busmen park up their buses in the terminal, and a gang maybe 4 or 5 of them sometimes they set in, smoking, drinking, and getting on. And people been complaining about some of them things a long time. Sometimes, if you walk the length of those boat booths, those little shops that are there at the terminal, especially on a Friday, you see people there like the eyes coming out the head, like a bear or a fish. Women and men, I have seen that many times. So I try not to walk along the sidewalk there when I come out of a bus. You got some busmen that drive wild and crazy, roughing up the driving. You can know they're under influence. You got one of them in particular, I think he's a Jamaican. The kind of behavior that he displays, I believe he shouldn't be driving people, passenger bus. And other people could testify to what I'm saying. So, don't try to dodge the things them. Officer Bell, I like you very much. From the time you come on the program, I like you very much. But I want a listening skill. Now, lastly, I know last week, because I had something significant to say. But poor people always got need for money, not just one. Need for money. Even though they raise the minimum wage recently, look at the height of the supermarket and other things. Rich people, and there's a problem to them. If somebody could afford to charter a Uber, or whatever you call them, and they tell them whatever money, that ain't no comparison, you know. Listen, get some people who get some big pension, some good middle-income people. So a lot of them retired, so they could afford to do that, and all kind of thing. So that's not the point. I will tell you this before. You see them small buses there running carrying passengers, they should have been allowed to go along town, because of the small size. Because how come, what you call it, these things they carry tourists? Look the size of them. And they travel all over town. All over town. They got similar buses for the hotels, etc. All over town. This thing more bus route is a joke. Anyway, have a good day.
All right, thank you very much. You would have noted some concerns, and then we will take note of them, particularly what you reference in terms of the bus terminal and so on. So the thing about it, this only bring about the need for standardizing the bus operation, just similarly to the taxi. And that is something that we have been looking at. It's just a matter of expediting it, because very soon not anybody will be driving a bus just like as it is now, because we recognize that some of the challenges that are being experienced pursues probably young and inexperienced drivers, and they take their habit, their mindset and everything, not realizing that they're performing a commercial service, and they have a responsibility, they have a duty. So this only bring to bear the importance and the necessity of really standardizing the bus operations, similar to that of the taxi services.
Just to comment on the caller also, I was not trying to compare rich, poor, or anybody. I was talking in general, and I was just giving reference to the alternative that persons have compared to the standard bus fee, which the bus drivers might say after hours they need $5. But whereas the other alternatives, when it comes to taxi, they might tell you $20 US. When it comes to Uber, at least they would tell you $25. So we're trying to say, if it is a priority for you to reach home, we're not saying that it is legal or anything like that. We have to do our research and come back and speak. But when it comes to consideration and prioritizing, at least, even if you're not drinking alcohol, even if you buy a bottle of water in the event, it would cost at least $5. So prioritize and, just put aside $5 to ensure that you reach home safe.
Hold that thought. Let's take this call. Hi, good morning. You're live.
I call back again. I realize nobody else called.
Yeah, call not because nobody else calling. You really was given considerable time, and we got your point. And so if it's anything different, you can do it quickly. But we really want to give other persons the opportunity.
Officer?
I'm sorry?
Do you know if I have other points?
That is what I'm saying. If it is a different point, just do so quickly, because the thing is, let other persons have the opportunity to.
Nobody is calling. That's why I call.
All right, make a point quickly, please.
Policemen usually be in the terminal, and the kind of behavior with buses and other people, other drivers, other vehicles. They go on there, like the driver full speed, and then there's supposed to be a restricted area in terms of speed. And they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing at all.
Okay, sorry that I had to really think, but I don't want to seem to be interrupting you. But the point that you're making in relation to police not dealing with it and so on, the whole situation is a matter of personal responsibility. So yes, the police, if there are police officers who are not acting when they see these infractions happening, that should happen, because they are police officers and they should act. But at the same time, the drivers themselves should have that personal and civic responsibility based on the service that they are providing. So if we could move on now, that will be
Okay, I seem to have lost the call.
Yeah.
We have a concern. This person is raising a concern about the road to go down by Pond Road, right there from coming down by the school to go down to the bottom. They said the bus just stopped there and block off the whole traffic. What traffic is doing about that?
Pan Road.
The area from in the back by Ponds, when you're coming down after you pass Valiant going down by the school, going down that road there, down to the bottom. They're saying buses.
You mean where the bus drivers used to park up previously before the bus terminal?
No. You're coming off of Wellington Road and you're going down in the back. All right, I'll ask them to confirm.
Yeah,
They'll ask them to
because we are
confirm.
not quite certain because they say bus usually parked there.
No, drop off people.
Oh.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I have a concern.
This is about the agro strip, but go ahead, sorry.
Oh, at the aggressive. Okay.
Go ahead, ma'am, sorry.
Concerning the passengers. I think if you're driving on a vehicle, a bus, and you want to stop, whether in Bastia or in the countryside, you can't just tell the busman stop here, because it affects other passengers on the bus, because sometimes the bus gives this stroke. So you're affecting the passengers. You know where you're going. All you have to do, tell the busman, if it's not in the bus route, the bus stop, tell the busman, when you reach stop at this certain place. Don't wait until you reach the area to say, busman, stop here. Because it is unfair to other passengers. When I'm driving on a bus, or you going by a bus stop at the next, the upcoming bus stop. Something simple as that. Don't just wait until you reach the area to say to stop. It's a very ticklish situation. I know some people might want to do it, but the best thing to do, don't wait until you reach where you're going to tell the busman to stop. Have a blessed day.
Right. And that's a good point, Carla. The thing is that what really should happen, and that is why sometimes we enforce the bus stops. Because really and truly, once you miss a bus stop, especially if there is a designated bus stop, the bus should not really stop in and between another bus stop. So it is for the passenger to really alert the bus driver, as you have been suggesting, so that the bus can stop in the appropriate places. But the thing about it that some of these bus drivers they just encourage the discourteous habit of when somebody says stop, they just slam brakes and so on.
You know, GQ, we are spoiled. We are spoiled because you have places you have to stop by a bus stop and still walk the next 5 minutes. And the funny thing about it, and I could talk because you see it happen generally. When persons travel, they are willing to go out of the way to get to and from where they want to go, even if they have to walk 5-10 minutes. But here, if we enforce the offense, stopping in an area not designated bus stop, they said we're trying to kill poor people. But when we be courteous, use our discretion, and tolerate them, because we're not allowing them, we're tolerating them, other persons are still going to complain, oh, the police is not doing the job. So you can please the public. But the caller have a very, very valid point, and it's an offense for really bus drivers to be stopping in areas that are not designated bus stop.
Indeed.
But we just try to be courteous at the same time, but we still get the backlash.
Gentlemen, it's a tough job. Someone has to do it.
Right.
Unfortunately, though, we're out of time. We're out of time.
Yeah, that is what I was trying to manage, because this is our final opportunity, GQ, to really reinforce the different traffic managements. I know that we would have put certain things in place, but I want to encourage the public that the traffic restrictions are on our police Facebook page, and so you should really acquaint yourself with the different areas of parking and the different areas that where parking are not allowed, also in terms of the traffic flow and the direction of traffic in and out of the venue, and ensure that you do not park your vehicle in any way that will expose you to any risk. What I mean, in isolated areas, and neither do you park in areas that are restricted, because we will be up and about, and you will be towed. You will be towed. Thank you, GQ.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Are you looking for a place that provides skilled nursing care and rehabilitation services to people with special needs